Your name is Triforsa, but you're Beyonce on Instagram. So then you're trying to raise your kids not to believe in who they are.
Make the hashtag. Your name is Trifecta in real life, but Beyonce on Instagram.
Should it be up to parents to monitor social media, especially their children's social media platforms? Should it be up to the social media platforms themselves? Or should it be up to the young person to take it to take it up themselves to self-monitor their social media platforms?
Wow. First and foremost, I think it should be censored. It should be monitored. Parents must play a major role. But the problem with parents, the new age parents, they're too busy doing useless things than raising their children. You have a lady who is in 5 chamas and you only have 4 weekends. So all the weekends, they're busy, you understand? We have iPads and iPhones and Infinixes raising their children. And we think by keeping them busy, by giving them bundles of Wi-Fi in the house, then you can do your thing as they do their thing. And social media out there, while not blame the people who run the platforms, is because they're not there to raise your children. They're there to make money. You understand? I looked at Beyonce's Instagram. She has 118 million followers. And she follows nobody, not even a husband. We have TD Jakes, who gives life, has only 2 million followers. Now, Beyonce posted a photo of a blue handbag. There were 35,000 comments. What can you say 35,000 times about a handbag? You understand what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say, and I'm not hating on her because I think she's worked hard, but these are the people your children are following and would rather discuss handbags than discuss a lady like her who has grown from being nothing to being a PR guru. You understand what I'm saying? So, my daughter's on Instagram, but I have her password. When she's breathing, I'm breathing. I literally know everything that is happening there. I'm telling you the truth. When she posts something, when she's typing, I'm there. I don't live with her, but I'm on that Instagram like white on rice. And let me tell you something. I once saw a man saying, "Hi, baby." I went to the man's Instagram. I abused him to his 7th generation. She's 13. What am I trying to say out? Let me tell you why I'm saying this. And I'll say this for you to understand how dangerous this thing is. There was a house in the upmarket area 2 years ago with 11 girls in there. Between 10 p.m. and 1:23 a.m., 47 cars drove in there. In one of the 47 cars, it had 5 men. I'm not talking about Vitz. I'm not talking about Probox. I'm talking about the high-end vehicles. And in that house were 11 women servicing these men. The oldest was 14. They managed to get these young girls through social media. You understand what I'm saying? So parents, first and foremost, I asked myself, you as a man or a woman, you are sleeping at night not knowing where your 11-year-old is. And then we have a 60-year-old man who is a top corporate guy feeling comfortable sleeping with an 11-year-old. So we have parents who are messed up here because they can sleep with somebody young enough to be their grandchild. And we have another parent who is busy doing something else, not knowing where the 11-year-old is. And I'm telling you the truth, social media has kind of justified some crazy stuff. Whereby, when you see somebody almost half naked, now, during my time, even thinking somebody is naked is a sin. Now, seeing them is normal because it's all over in every page. You understand what I'm saying? So when a crazy person tells them, let's meet somewhere, we have a business opportunity. And by the way, social media is raising a micro generation. Because you see me posting a photo in a Range Rover Sport. It's not mine. I got it at the parking down here. So you want to be like that, so you look for any short way to make that money. And that is why we are a society, I'm telling you the truth, that is being messed by this social media. If you have a child, you better have their password, the password that they're thinking of, their last 10 passwords. I type my daughter's name to see if she's opened another account. Because if you don't raise them, social media is raising them. And I'll tell you this, they are crazy people on social media.
Pastor. Praise the Lord. So just to kind of get your point right, yes, you believe it should be censored, and fundamentally you think it's parents who should have the responsibility of censoring it.
Give the kids the values.
Dope. Aniko.
Hi guys. Isn't Chiki so amazing? Clap for Chiki! You're doing really great having this type of conversations, because we don't do this, and I mean we're here now, so I'm actually very happy to be here. So I feel like you're one of those very boring parents that no kid wants to have. It's like, you can't censor your kids. You can't censor them like that, because even if you have their password and tell them you have to post this type of thing, I feel like it's very easy for them to have so many other accounts and you still wouldn't know. So I feel like parents should take the lead, but not by saying, I need your password, I need to see what you posted. And I'm saying that because my mom, I hope she's never gonna watch this, is so annoying. Like, she's on social media and she's still trying to censor me right now. It's like, how old am I? But like one time some guy wrote for me on Facebook, like, something like, you look like a good wife or something. Like, would be a good wife. And she went and DM'd this guy on Facebook and was like, leave my daughter alone, da 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 da. And that was like last year. So the guy sent me a message and was like, I think your mom DM'd me. And like, what did she say? And he was like, she said really mean stuff, like I should leave you. So just tell her I don't mean bad, like I was kidding. But people will like acknowledge stuff and be like, I really love your work. And sometimes people, like parents or even people who you're with in a relationship, sometimes are jealous and see this as something else. So if we were to say that parents are supposed to censor their children and check everything that goes on, it's like, what do you censor, what don't you censor? Because you're not really sure what this kind of love means. So I really feel like we need parents to take the lead in terms of being the first ones to educate their children. So instead of having the peers of the child tell them, you need to be on this group because it's cool. Like, the parent should tell a child, like, you need to be on social media because all your friends are here. You need to be following these type of groups. You need to be discussing this type of things, because they're still gonna be on some social media platform whether or not the parent knows it. And the moment the parent starts to be like, don't do this, don't post this, when they go to a party and then they meet all these friends, the things that happen there, because they're like, I can't tell you guys how much I love you on my DM, and I can't post some stuff because my dad always checks. So when they get that opportunity and feel like, now my dad is not checking, my sister is not checking, that's when they really get fucked up. You get what I mean? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to use that.
This is the red corner, honey. This is a Citizen TV. You can swear all you want to swear.
And then when I'm talking about the parents, like, yes, they should take the lead, but how should they take the lead? I feel like some parents, especially the new age parents, my age, your age, our age, because I'm not seeing like very old people here. I'm seeing everyone is kind of middle age or even a little under middle age. I feel like we are the ones who are misleading. We are the ones misleading our children. When you have a baby, you just give birth to a baby. This baby has an Instagram account. But the baby is not even aware of what Instagram is. So I feel like even when you're talking about social media, these young kids can have a choice. Let them have a choice, but we can direct the choices they make. But I feel like the way parents are treating their kids, their lives these days, I think actually it's very dangerous. Because if you're sitting there, you're putting your mother, your father, your beloved child, especially a child, because they are not even aware, at least your people in your family are aware. This child can even be kidnapped because people are seeing this is your child. So the day the child is in the mall with the nanny, they're like, that person who has 20,000 followers, that is their child. I know that child. You're making, I think, as parents, no, but seriously, I think as parents, we are overexposing our children, and not just overexposing them, but we're overexposing them without their consent. So I think it's, I think it's fair to say that parents should take the lead, but I feel like not just the lead in terms of telling the child, like, you should be on this platform and not this one, but even directing the type of content they put and let them do their thing. And then also I feel like there's some, social media is different for everybody. So maybe a child wants to be on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. Like, something should definitely work for them. I have a niece who's 16 now, and she's an artist. And the father is like always telling her, you know, do your stuff, put your stuff. So basically she does like nice photography. Sometimes she does paintings at home. She takes a picture of that because she has a professional camera. She puts it on her Instagram. And she got a call like from, I think Italy, like to do an exhibition. And then like she usually talks to people like they want her to go and exhibit. So she was asking me, because she's like, you're my auntie and you're a publicist, like, how much should I charge? But she's like getting opportunities from this. So at the very same time, we can't say, don't be on social media. They have to be on social media, but we have to handle how they will be on social media. Because if you're a parent and you're like, remove that, why is a boy chatting with you? It means this child is probably on social media for all the wrong reasons. So it's like, the children, they need the direction. So they don't know why they should be on social media. So they need the direction from the parents. That's my opinion.
Thank you very much. Okay, Moriasi, you've recently become a parent. Well, a year ago. This is 2 years ago. It's still quite recent. It's got teenager. What's your opinion, especially when it comes to things like the law that would mean?
Hi guys. Is this thing on?
Yeah, it's on.
I guess so. So I'm not very good around crowds. I don't. Yeah, sorry. I don't speak much in front of crowds, and that's why I haven't been to court in a very long time. Well, I was there last week, but I didn't say much. This question is multi-layered. First of all, I actually had a chain of thought here. Yeah, but it's just about to come back. First of all, there's the issue of, we're talking about children and young people on social media. The most dangerous thing now is that I'm seeing kids are being used as social commodity on social media. It's messed up. My daughter has never been seen on social media. And that's strictly, not my sister who put her up, not my sister-in-law, no one. Not my parents, not my cousins, not my no one. Because social media is the young people's new playground. Literally. Kids are not going out to play. They're on social media. Yeah. My grandfather was a pastor for 60 years. He had a saying, but in Kikisi, he was saying, do the right thing. People may not like it, but they'll always respect you. Always. And that's what my dad and his brothers and sisters were raised on. My dad always taught me. So that's first layer of that question. So when it comes to specifically how you parent a child when it comes to the situation of social media, there is no manual. What Pastor Robert is doing is his way. If it works for him and it raises him a daughter who will be responsible on social media just because she knows she needs to be responsible, that's his way, it'll work. But you must find your own way with your own child. You never know, and I think the people who have children here will understand, when he or she comes into the world and you hold her. I spent the first night with my daughter, we slept side by side. Everything changes. All your opinions about life, about how you're going to raise them, about your idealistic way of saying, this is what I'm going to raise my daughter, this is what I'm going to raise my son with. And then you start being introspective. Actually, you think about yourself, what other people are doing, what other people are saying, what you have been doing, what you have been saying, and you say, now this is mine. And if she, as Aniko said, or he fucks up, it's my fuck up. So, and remember, it's your child, so you have to clean it up at every stage. So you have to be very clear in how you're going to approach this. And I think the thing we should all remember is social media at our age is our playground. Like, we'll never take a baby to our gym. We'll take them to the hub where they can play, right? We'll take them to the gym where they'll be doing squats and Tom. Planking for 7 minutes. What the hell? So I'm just saying, that's first. The second layer of this is your Facebooks, Twitters, Googles, whatever, what's their responsibility in this situation? First of all they can do is foster a situation where, or like facilitate a situation where certain content cannot be uploaded. Yes, the laws have been changing throughout. You have to understand that there is no, like now we have a cybercrime law in this country. A friend of mine went to court and they killed 29 sections because they were too intrusive. They were not progressive. What they were doing is, it was a situation where they want to muzzle the media, the new age media, through the law. That's why when the judge heard their argument and read their papers, he cancelled out 27 whole sections. Yeah, so he nullified them. So of course the people will appeal and whatever will happen. However, there's because of the laws that, I mean, regulations your social media sites have been having in terms of cyberbullying, if you report it, well, there's nudity, there's sexual content and such, that at least there are regulations against it. So if it's reported, it's investigated, it's taken down.
And what I have to say is, one key that's been really left out is communicating with the children. One thing my father explained to me when I used to look at him and I'm like, you're old, what do you know? And he's like, darling, you'll come to understand as you grow. Things are the same. The only thing that's changed is the upgrade of names and your upgrade of technology, right? So as technology changes, it exposes our children into a situation that we also have to understand. Communication is everything, all right? If you want to take control over your child, I don't think you, first of all, have 24 hours of surveillance on them because you have to go create your career, make the money, pay the roof over everybody's head, make sure everybody's eating, feeding, cooking, whatever it is, cleaning. The problem is people forget we need to sit down and have this conversation. How was school? Who's bullying you? When you find out who's bullying them, you're able to start taking charge. Because most of these problems is we don't have the communication with our children. So when we find our child is dead is when you're like, my kid was being bullied. Why? Because we didn't have that time to communicate with them. Neither did we have time to explain to them what it's like to have menstrual periods. It's not the same time when it was our time. Or when a boy's voice breaks and when he's made fun of at school and everyone's like, what's wrong with you? We don't have that time to educate our children that there's different times when your body parts start to change and this is what's going to end up happening. And they also teach you things because their times are more advanced than our times. My kids, I don't allow them to be on Cartoon Network or these things because I'm like, listen, me, I was a chimpanzee in the trees. That was my life. I was up in mabuyu trees, making mabuyus with everything, you know. When I was in Coast, I was in the baobab trees. When I was here, I was in mapera trees. Why? Because that time we didn't have social media. We only had kabambes. But kibambes then were just so, oh my God, it's the new fashion. What's happening now is every girl is getting this thing of, oh my God, did you see her page? She's in a Range Rover. Oh my God. Girl, that ain't her Range Rover. That's just a damn picture. But like Chiki's explained is everybody's like, oh my God, I just want to be like her. Why? Because you're not sitting there satisfying your child that, hold up. Our generation is these young parents. I'm a singer, okay? I'm a public figure. I'm a fashion designer, blah, blah, blah. My kids look up to me. Your kids look up to me, okay? We forget that social media is a business platform, all right? So whoever places their stuff on this business platform, they're out there to do business. So you can't control that platform. And you can't control your kids either because when they go out at that party, your education that you taught them at home is what's going to save their asses at that party. Not getting drunk. Or if something's wrong, mommy, I'm not okay, come and get me. But if your kid is like, man, I snuck out, and if some shit goes down today, I am dead, because if I'm dead, no one will find me. If I'm in hospital, I'm dead. You've raised your kids in fear.
With. Now, I know it's an age where social media comes through and takes over everyone's life. Yeah, people are running businesses. People are trying to become Insta famous and all of that. But we need to understand one thing, yeah? So basically, at the end of the day, it is your child's journey. Okay, so let's see, for example, yeah? So you've guided your child and they've grown up in a not so social environment, and then they get into high school, let's say Brabant, right? And then day one, they go in and they discover, shit, I'm the only kid on social media. I'm the only kid in this class who doesn't have an Instagram account, right? So they open an Instagram account. 2 days later, they have 4,000 followers. What are you gonna do about that? Point is, we have to grow with our kids. It's social media. We can't hide it from them. They're gonna find it either way. Honestly, you can't hide it from them. My mom tried. Did not work out very well. Honestly, people are running businesses. For every post I put out there, right? I'm gonna get that, hey, how you doing text. But for every how you doing DM, there's like 5, what's your rate card DM? You know, like what do you do exactly? Can you explain it to me? It's a way. Yes, you put yourself out there, and yes, you might get exposed. Yes, people might take advantage of you. But you cannot hide social media from your kids.
For example, my mom lives in Europe, yeah? I get to communicate with her via Skype, and thanks to social media, I feel closer to home when I communicate with her, yeah? Like you said earlier, social media has a lot of pressure today, yeah? If you think about it, like, not even that long ago, let's say 10 years ago, beauty, what beauty is today is not what it was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, a skinny girl could be pretty, a thick girl could be pretty. However you look, people will just look at your personality, and that's what makes you beautiful. But today, because of the people like the Kardashians and all of that, there's pressure to look a certain way, yeah? I get that pressure myself. Oh, I want a bigger ass. Oh, I want bigger boobs. Oh, I want this. Oh, I want that. Because that's what people think beauty is today. If you think about it, most men look at the body of a woman. They don't even look at her personality or who she is. So social media comes with a lot of pressure. At the end of the day, people, even us influencers, yeah, I even feel the need to live up to other people's standards, but then I look at myself in the mirror and I remind myself, this is not who you are. What I see on Instagram, it's not always going, like, it's picture perfect on Instagram, but this same person probably doesn't even have food in the fridge, hasn't paid their rent for God knows how long, but on Instagram they're here bawling and flaunting and this and that. I even used to get that pressure of living up to other people's standards until recently I told myself, you know what, let me remain true to myself and let me be who I am.